A welcome sight to the entire Pacific Northwest as the NFL's reigning MVP Shaun Alexander returns this afternoon. Live from Candlestick Point, Fox NFL Sunday presents the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Entering Week 11 in the NFC West, few would have predicted a 4-12 team from a year ago to be this close to the reigning conference champs today. And welcome alongside J.C. Pearson, Matt Vasgersian, and J.C. for Seattle coach Mike Holmgren. This is a date he's had circled on his schedule for some time as he finally gets a little closer to full health this afternoon.
Well, he gets his two big stars back today, although in a limited role. Shaun Alexander, the NFL MVP from last year, will start today. He says that broken left foot feels great. They want to get him about 10 carries today. Matt Hasselbeck will dress out. He's going to be the third quarterback. We probably won't see him, but in their absence, the replacements that people have been calling them have played well. Maurice Morris averaging 131 yards over the last two games, running the ball well. Seneca Wallace, 2-1 as a starter. Hasn't thrown an interception in the last two games. Those guys have played well.
Now, for the 49ers, part of the reason they've been able to match their win total from all of last season is a resurgent running game led by the outstanding second-year tailback Frank Gore.
Well, Matt, Frank Gore is quickly establishing himself as one of the better all-around running backs in the league. He leads this team in rushing. He leads this team in catches. And last week he set a franchise record with 148 yards rushing in the first half. But defensively, the 49ers are playing much, much better since they put Brandon Moore and Keith Lewis in the starting lineup. Both of those guys are very active, aggressive playmakers. They've helped this defense force 7 turnovers in the last 2 games. They'll need a couple more today.
This has been a tough series for San Francisco. They've lost 6 in a row to the Seahawks. We'll get suited up for kickoff. Coming up next.
There was a moment there where I thought, that was a pretty doggone good throw. I can probably play.
My sophomore year against Thomasville, I only got 3 balls. And those 3 went for 144 yards and 2 touchdowns. I knew right then that I was on my way.
And the stadium was rocking, it was packed. Got a total of 400-some yards. That's when I knew.
When people stopped calling me Archie's boy, started calling me Peyton, that was a big moment for me.
You're watching NASN, the North American Sports Network, a new and exciting sports channel dedicated to the best in live North American sports 24/7. On NASN, you can experience over 100 live NFL games this season, plus the playoffs and the Super Bowl live. Watch up to 175 regular season NHL games and live postseason, including the Stanley Cup Finals. Feel the excitement of live Major League Baseball with up to 260 regular season games and exclusive coverage of the World Series. NASN also brings you an exclusive lineup of college sports with live college football and basketball. And with a daily lineup of sports news, talk shows, highlights, and analysis, NASN is your channel for the very best in live North American sports. Visit NASN.com for scheduling news and information.
Fox welcomes you back to San Francisco, getting ready for the kickoff. Seahawks and 49ers. Chris Myers, part of the broadcast team here on the field with head coach Mike Holmgren, anxious to get things going. We hear game time decision. It's game time. The decision has been made. Tell us about Hasselbeck and Shaun Alexander.
Well, Shaun Alexander is going to start. Hasselbeck is active. If I have to play him, I'll play him. If I don't have to play him, I won't.
All right, fair enough. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Back up to Matt and JC.
Chris, thanks, and we are underway from San Francisco. Michael Robinson takes the kick and returns it shy of the 30-yard line. That's where Alex Smith and the 49ers offense will go to work to start the afternoon. We'll get you to Alexander and Hasselbeck and all of Seattle's star power that is back in a limited capacity later on. First, we start with Alex Smith, who has really been outstanding in his sophomore campaign.
He really has, and what people have to understand about Alex Smith is even though this is his second year, this is his second new offensive system that he's had to learn. Norv Turner's come in this year, so he's had to start all over again in his second season. He's doing a good job.
Smith trying to engineer the 49ers to a third straight win for the first time since 2002. His first offensive series is underway. The 49ers plan to run the ball as often as they can behind Frank Gore, who after a gain of a couple is wrapped up. San Francisco's offensive line, 2/3 of the Niners rushing yards last week came behind the left side. Jennings and the 10-time Pro Bowler Larry Allen, both healthy together and very effective. The Niners backs and receivers. Norv Turner, as JC mentioned, likes to get Alex Smith out of the pocket, boots and rolls. Eric Johnson gets the start at tight end, though the rookie Vernon Davis is active, coming back from a broken fibula today. 2nd and 8 for San Francisco. And a flag. The pass is caught by Antonio Bryan, knocked out of bounds, shy of a first down by Julian Peterson, the ex-49er. And we'll see if this is coming back.
And that was Julian Peterson that jumped off sides. And you know, that guy's anxious today. He's coming back to the Niners. Coming back here for the first time. A lot of emotion, excitement. You can see right there on his face. Just, you know, that guy's ready to go.
Defense, offside number 59. That's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
It is Julian Peterson, understandably a bit froggy this afternoon. We take a look at Seattle's defensive front first. Fisher, Bernard, and Wistrom have started all 11 games this year. Chuck Darby had a career-high 2 sacks last week against the Rams. In the linebacking core, Julian Peterson, the story, his first appearance here in a visiting uniform. The Seahawks secondary a little banged up at the right corner position. Kelly Herndon has a hamstring issue. His backup, Kelly Jennings, tweaked a knee in practice. This is Gore changing directions to very little success as he is dragged down at the 35 by Jordan Babineau.
And Matt, what the Seahawks do defensively is they bring a lot of pressure from a lot of different places. And it's not only to get after the quarterback, but it's also run blitzes. It's good against the run because they get guys in every gap and they can blow up the plays like they did just then on the front side. Frank Gore has nowhere to go.
San Francisco has converted on 35% of their third down opportunities, though they were fantastic on this capacity last week in Detroit. 10 of 19 in the road win. 3rd and 3, Johnson, the guy in motion, and another flag. This one looks like it'll go against San Francisco.
Encroachment, defense number 99.
Not so
5-yard
fast.
penalty. The 5 yards will result in a first down.
Rocky Bernard, the guilty party for Seattle, as San Francisco first down.
You got to wonder, Matt, if these Seahawks are ready to play. This could be a trap game for them. They said all week long the practices were pretty relaxed, and you come out right here on this first series, you have 2 offsides penalties. That's just concentration. They've got to make sure they're ready to play today because the 49ers are a pretty good football team right now.
1st and 10 for Smith on a 3-receiver set out of the shotgun play action with Gore. Smith on the move as he so often is, and the pass is incomplete. The 49ers last week won the time of possession battle, specifically in the first half against Detroit. I would imagine the goal would be the same here today.
Well, they've got to control the ball. They've got to keep that Seattle offense on their sideline. They've got to try to keep it close. They haven't scored a lot of points in the first half. In fact, they've only scored 65 total points in the first half all season. So they've got to get some points on the board, try to control the clock with Frank Gore and control passing attack, win the time of possession battle.
On 2nd and 10 now. Another triple receiver set for San Francisco. The quick pass is caught by Arnaz Battle. Taken out of bounds by Lofa Tatupu, close to another first down. So defensively, what's the focus this afternoon for John Marshall in Seattle?
Well, they've got to continue to attack. That's what they do. They got 9 sacks against the Raiders a couple of weeks ago. They lead the league in sacks this year with 34 total. They've got to stay aggressive, and they've got to get after Alex Smith. And like I said, when you're aggressive and you're bringing guys not only to try to get after the quarterback, but it also blows up the run game, so they can't afford to get passive.
This is 3rd and 2. A Seattle penalty helped the 49ers convert their first third down try today, with 4 receivers on the field. Smith out of the gun. And he passes incomplete, looking at Arnaz battle with what would have been a first down reception. And that'll bring out Andy Lee in the punting unit. You know, that's a big stop for Seattle, if only because the 49ers have been very good on first possessions this year.
And they put Alex Smith in the shotgun to give him some time to get away from the pressure. You see Lofa Tatupu coming straight in the middle, but Alex has a lot of time here. That's a pass that he should make to Arnaz battle. That's one that got away from him.
Nate Burleson took a punt back 90 yards against the Rams last weekend. He starts this return at his 5 and is wrapped up immediately. Brian Gilmore makes the tackle. Sean Alexander with rough field position back on the field.
Druids Glen Golf Resort, voted European Golf Resort of the Year 2005. A golfer's paradise in the Garden of Ireland. 2 championship golf courses of contrasting design. The luxurious Marriott Druids Glen Hotel and Country Club, featuring 148 specially appointed guest rooms and a magnificent spa and health centre. Visit our driving range, pro shops, golf academy, and get your golfing tips or tuition from our resident PGA teaching professional.
Some people think the internet is a good thing. The most powerful educational tool the world has ever known. It's preserving our history, keeping the past alive forever. It's the only place where freedom of speech truly exists. Some people think the internet is a good thing. What do you think?
This Thanksgiving, we have a live and exclusive NFL triple header. First up, the Dolphins will try to avoid becoming the Lions' dinner in Detroit. Then the Cowboys are having the Buccaneers round for the holidays. And finally, the Chiefs aren't looking for peace as they take on the Broncos. A live Thanksgiving NFL triple header this Thursday from 6:30, only on NASN.
We go back to that last punt. Here's the 10-yard line. Return men are taught to put their heels on the 10-yard line. If you've got to backpedal to catch the ball, let it go. See, Nate Burleson catches it on the 4, and now they've got terrible field position. The reason why that happens, Matt, like you said, he took one back 90 yards last week. You feel like you're invincible. You can do it every time, and that's a no-no.
So Seneca Wallace in the offense to work in rough shape. The first carry by Sean Alexander in a couple of months results in a gain of maybe a yard or 2. Well, Seneca Wallace has certainly done a great job keeping things warm while Matt Hasselbeck returns. 2-1, making his 4th consecutive start today. As we mentioned, Hasselbeck is available today in that third quarterback capacity. It is very unlikely we'll see him on the field this afternoon. After no gain, Wallace in the air, and he overthrows his intended target, Deion Branch. Seattle's offensive line has been a talking point the past couple of weeks. Chris Spencer starts at center for the 2nd straight week as Robbie Tobeck continues to mend after a bout with a nasty flu bug. And Tom Ashworth makes his 4th consecutive start for Sean Locklear. Alexander back at tailback, and keep your eyes on Darrell Jackson today. He's had some big games against San Francisco the past couple of years.
You know, this is the first time Seneca's played here in front of a family and friends. He can't try to do too much. He should have checked that ball down on 2nd down, and he knew it as soon as he threw the pass.
Here is the Sacramento native on 3rd and 10. Look out for the blitz. He dances out of the end zone. This is Wallace at his best, running for a Seattle first down.
This is what Mike Holmgren has encouraged him to do. You feel the pressure or you go through your progressions, they're not there, pull it down and run because he's so well at it. The problem is that he doesn't do enough of it. You can see he feels the pressure from Chad Williams. He steps up, and now he makes the decision to run, and you can see the guy's got a lot of speed. He can just run away from guys and create something positive from something that probably was going to be a negative play.
So the legs of the Seattle quarterback accounting for their first down this afternoon. Sean Alexander around the corner and tackled by Walt Harris and Marcus Douglas. To meet the rest of the 49ers defensively, their front, the featured guy is Bryant Young, 6th on the active sacks list. Matt Hasselbeck told us yesterday he's as good a player as we'll face all year. The linebacking core, one of the 2 moves Mike Nolan made a couple of weeks ago, giving Brandon Moore the starting job. That's been huge. The other move was in the secondary, where third-year man Keith Lewis was given a starting assignment at free safety, and he too has responded big. 2nd and 6. Wallace looking to throw. This one complete to Deion Branch for another Seahawks first down.
There's an example right there of just taking what the defense gives you, and it's so hard for quarterbacks who haven't played a lot to get it, to understand that. They think they have to force the ball down the field and make a big play every play, and that's something that Seneca Wallace did early when he first started but now he's really starting to understand this offense.
A couple of first downs on the drive. Again, they started with Alexander. And after a gain of a couple, we check in on the field with Chris Myers.
Matt, I talked to Sean Alexander after pregame warm-up, said he's not 100% in this game. He's wearing protective padding, not only at his left foot, but over both shoes on both feet. Stump Mitchell, running back coach, said they will not hesitate giving him the ball a number of times, maybe double-digit carries. They will watch his healing foot and also check his game endurance throughout the afternoon.
Yeah, that's going to be the key, is his conditioning. Is he going to be able to hold up, and for how long?
Well, Morris checks into the game. He makes his first carry, and it's a productive one, charging forward close to another Seattle first down. Brandon Moore and Ronald Fields making the hit for San Francisco. So the offensive focus for Seattle with Alexander back, it's get right back to business.
Yeah, they've got to get back in the flow, get him in the flow, get him comfortable back handling the ball, and see exactly what he can do right now. Can he make all the cuts? Does he have the burst? Does he have the explosion? But at the same time, the focus can't be only on him. Seneca Wallace has to continue to manage this offense.
2 backs with Wallace, and on play action, that pass is caught what looked like shy of a first down marker. DJ Hackett makes the reception. You know, as quickly as this Seattle offense moves, JC, for the 49ers, it's a matter of just holding tight.
Just hang on, because Seattle scores a lot of points early in the game. They've scored more first quarter points than any team in the league, and this defense has to just hang on, keep this game close late in the ball game, and give themselves a chance to win. But if they can't stay close early, it's going to be tough for them to get back in the game.
Alexander checks back in for Seattle on 2nd and short, and Alexander has the first down running right.
And this is where they really miss Sean Alexander in these short yardage and especially on the goal line situations. He just has a knack for sliding through the hole. He turns his body, makes himself small, and just kind of slips through the hole. They really need him on the goal line. That's where this offense has struggled running the ball. Maurice Morris hasn't scored a touchdown in all the time that he's played. And Sean Alexander, when you get close, he's the guy that can get the ball in the end zone.
The 10th play of the drive coming up for Seattle. Play action again. Wallace looking deep down the middle of the field, and that one's picked off. Again, it's Keith Lewis who forced a fumble and stopped a Lions drive at the end of the game last week. Boy, those new starters defensively for San Francisco paying immediate dividends for Mike Nolan.
So you all right, Jake?
Well, I don't think Mum's been acting a bit weird.
I wouldn't worry about it, son.
Only Actimel contains the good bacteria L. C. immunitas. Try it and see if you feel the difference.
There was a moment there where I thought, that was a pretty doggone good throw. I can probably play.
My sophomore year against Thomasville, I only got 3 balls. And those 3 went for 144 yards and 2 touchdowns. I knew right then that I was on my way.
The stadium was rocking, it was packed. Got a total of 400-some yards. That's when I knew.
When people stopped calling me Archie's boy, started calling me Peyton. That was a big moment for me.
Nurofen, fast, targeted relief for pain.
Freedom for backs. New heat patches from Nurofen.
You're watching NASN, the North American Sports Network, a new and exciting sports channel dedicated to the best in live North American sports 24/7. On NASN, you can experience over 100 live NFL games this season, plus the playoffs and the Super Bowl live. Watch up to 175 regular season NHL games and live postseason, including the Stanley Cup Finals. Feel the excitement of live Major League Baseball with up to 260 regular season games and exclusive coverage of the World Series. NASN also brings you an exclusive lineup of college sports with live college football and basketball. And with a daily lineup of sports news, talk shows, highlights, and analysis, NASN is your channel for the very best in live North American sports. Visit NASN.com for scheduling news and information.
Well, Seneca Wallace had directed a nice drive, 9 plays. They had mixed up the run and the short pass nicely, but his first long attempt intercepted. And Alex Smith and the 49ers take over at their own 7-yard line. This is Frank Gore busting a big one. There he goes down center field. Gore finally wrapped up at the 42-yard line. Oh, he had a big one last week in Detroit. Marcus Trufant was the only guy in his way, a gain of 51 yards.
And Seattle has 9 guys in the box, and Frank makes Herndon miss right here, and then he makes Babineau miss right there, and now he's off to the races. He had a big 61-yard touchdown last week, but you see him just lower his shoulder, run through Kelly Herndon, and now make Babineau miss down the field. That's what Frank Gore brings to this team, is he's strong enough inside to break some tackles, and then he's fast enough to run away from guys.
His 9th rush of 20 or more yards. They take the NFL lead in that capacity. Play action as Maurice Hicks checks in to give Gore a puffer. Eric Johnson left wide open on the misdirection. And another San Francisco first down.
Let's go back to that run. Look at how many guys Seattle has in the box. Actually, there's 9 guys right there. And then watch Frank Gore. You can't block all 9 guys. The running back has to make somebody miss. He makes one miss right there, then he makes the free safety miss, and now it's a huge gain. And what that does now is it sets up the play action that we just saw on the misdirection back to Eric Johnson.
Gore back in after the 18-yard reception by Johnson. Gore again. Boy, Frank Gore last week in Detroit broke off that 61-yarder on a 3rd and 16 play. You know, these are plays that aren't designed to chew up 50 and 60 yards at a time, but Gore's been able to break these big ones successfully.
Because, again, like I said, he's strong enough inside to break some tackles, and when teams put 8, 9 guys in the box, the running back has to account for 1 or 2 guys. So he's got to make a guy miss, and that's what Frank has been able to do the last few weeks.
A gain of a yard on first down, so on 2nd and 9 now. Smith looking left, finally flushed out of the pocket, being chased by Bryce Fisher and company, and that pass is thrown out of bounds. With more on Frank Gore, let's check in again with Chris Myers.
Yeah, Matt, JC, he said before the game, coming off that concussion last week, he felt fine. It was the hardest hit he'd ever taken, but he said he didn't remember the play till he watched it on tape, and it made him dizzy again just looking at it. The harder hit was when his head hit the ground. He said, maybe it'll knock some sense into me. And he said that Norv Turner told me a lot of misdirection plays today that I could have a big day against the Seahawks.
And Frank kind of reminds me of one of those throwback guys. He really, really cares about playing football. He loves it, and he just lives and dies football. He's here all the time at the facility, and last year after they lost the game, he cried because guys were partying in the parking lot. He really loves this game.
Play a game, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Yeah, 3rd and 9. The Niners couldn't execute before the play clock expired, so the delay of game will march them back on 3rd down. All suited up today. Head coach Mike Nolan. It's been a fairly big story throughout the NFL. The official uniform outfitter of the league, Reebok, designed the suit for him, and tipping his cap, respecting the game and the tradition. He suited up today.
It looks good, too. I like it.
I believe
I really do. Reebok ought to start making suits and let all of them wear. But some guys like Holmgren probably wouldn't want to do that.
3rd and 14. And a short pass is caught by Eric Johnson, short of a first down. That'll bring on Joe Nedney in the field goal unit. So the big 60-plus yarder sets the 49ers up and puts them in a position to get the points first. This is definitely in Joe Nedney territory. A 39-yard attempt. He's 3 out of 4 from this range between 30 and 39 this year. Trying to convert on 11 consecutive field goal attempts, and the kick is up and through. The Seahawks scored in the first quarter here in San Francisco.
Some people think the internet is a good thing. The most powerful educational tool the world has ever known. It's preserving our history, keeping the past alive forever. It's the only place where freedom of speech truly exists. Some people think the internet is a good thing. What do you think?
Now this is my size net.
Fabulous! This is my backhand.
I saw it coming. This is my other team. No boys allowed.
That's my shoe.
There we go. This is my rink.
This is my walk home from the arena.
A Joe Nedney field goal starts the scoring here this afternoon. Set up by the great run by Frank Gore, making a habit of big runs. Josh Scobie back to return the kick. And it's a short kick. Scobie picks up at the 13 and returns it out to the 24-yard line. Sacramento native Seneca Wallace back to work in the first quarter.
We're playing San Diego. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns, and puked in between. And that's when I knew it.
I felt like I was playing with little kids and I was a grown man, like Superman.
I ran the fastest 40 at the camp, and I was still 15 years old. So that's when I knew I was going to be pretty good. Oh, yeah.
Play football. Coming off a season-ending knee injury with Green Bay, Javon Walker brings his talents to the Broncos in 2006. Walker's speed and great hands earned him a Pro Bowl trip in 2004, and his arrival in Denver gives Jake Plummer a dangerous new receiving weapon. With a few trips to the end zone, Walker is sure to become a fan favorite.